Even though it's just an alpha, and I'm sure there will be a lot more loot added, picking through what you need to keep and what is trash can be overwhelming for any new player. But if you can learn what pieces of loot are most important early on, it can make upgrading your vault, your stats, and the overall experience so much better. I'll take you through what to focus on so that you can get all the level 1 upgrades for each faction as quickly as possible. Let's get into it. The first thing to focus on is going through each faction upgrade tree and determining where you want to start. Because I've played other extraction shooters like Tarkov, I knew the first thing I wanted to do was increase my vault space. I focused on the CyberAcme expansion upgrade, which required 12 microprocessors. If you want a full guide on the best locations to make it as quick as possible, check out this video. You may, however, want to prioritize something like backpacks, looting speed, or even the ability to heal yourself quicker. Go through each tree to see what type of materials you need to turn in to unlock that upgrade. For example, if you're wanting to be able to purchase backpacks from the black market so that each time you go into a run you can loot as much as possible, then head over to the Nucloric upgrade tree and you'll see that you need 4 plastic filaments and 2 organic lenses. Hover over either and mark it to make looting that much easier. Your next question is likely going to be, where are the best places to look for loot that I need? When you open the map, you can click on each location to see what materials have higher drop rates there. This may sound tedious, and it is, because I've already done it for every location on both Dire Marsh and Perimeter. I also took note of every material needed for all level 1 upgrades so that we can easily look at how many of each material we need. Make sure to refer back to this when looting to make it easier. Hopefully by launch I'll have a much easier way to lay this out for everyone. Here are the totals for each material needed across all 3 faction upgrade trees along with their drop locations. We'll start with materials that have a higher chance of spawning in locations on Perimeter. 24 microprocessors at North Relay or South Relay, 16 hydrocarbon rubbers at Station or Overflow, 18 plastic filaments at North Relay and Overflow, and 16 carbon wires at South Relay or Hauler. For Dire Marsh, 24 spark leaves at Greenhouse or AI Uplink, 12 organic lenses at BioResearch or Quarantine, 12 storage drives at AI Uplink, 9 nano composites at BioResearch or Field Maintenance, 16 basic zero gels at Greenhouse or Quarantine, and 16 putty explosives at Complex or Field Maintenance. It's possible to find these materials elsewhere, so make sure to snag them if you do, but if you're going for something specific, try heading to these locations. Having all of this before your run helps, because if you are trying to go for a certain upgrade like the backpack that needs plastic filaments, but you came across putty explosives that you don't actually need for that upgrade, you'd know to still pick it up. Because you know you would need it later and you could save it in your vault until you want to turn it in, it'll help you down the road. The key to extraction shooters is thinking ahead, because you'll come across plenty of loot that's valuable, just not to you right now. I found that all of the loot for the level 1 upgrades are green rarity, which helps you quickly determine whether you need it. Also, a lot of this loot is stackable, meaning if you find a bunch of them, it will still only take up 1 inventory slot in both your backpack or vault. So there's no reason not to grab as many as you can find during your runs. Given that this is an alpha, we'll likely see the amounts needed for the upgrades and potentially even the materials themselves change at launch. That being said, the underlying strategy of determining the materials you'll need down the road still holds. Make sure to always have the next couple of upgrades in mind when looting so that you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. There's nothing more frustrating than opening a crate time after time to not see the piece of loot you want, only to move on to the next upgrade, knowing you've passed that material over a dozen times in favor of something else. If you want a more specific guide on how to upgrade your vault space quickly, check out this video on the left. And if you want a playlist of all things Marathon for the alpha, this playlist on the right is perfect for you.